Hello, everyone. Welcome to Lunch with Laura. I'm Laura Lee Collet, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I live in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and I'm going to show you a two-fer today, 2 cards for 1. But first, I need to tell you, we're renting a house, and the people decided to sell it. And today, they decided to have the roof redone. So if you hear me banging my head, my dog barking, or my husband yelling, that's the reason. Okay, life always throws us curves. Let's talk about our project today. And I'm going to switch you down. And today, our 2 cards are these. And it seems that we're upside down. So let me see if I can fix that right quick. And let's see if that did it. Okay, I am using the Autumn Goodness stamp set. It can be used for many different things. You can do these flowers for any time of year. Of course, these can be Thanksgiving or Halloween, fall, whatever. And they've got some great sentiments too. It comes in a bundle with the Autumn Wheelbarrow dies that we're going to be using today. And I'm also going to be using the celebration labels. So I'll show you how these are nested so that you get 5 of the big labels. And I've seen a cute project where they folded these and used them as a bag topper. So maybe I'll do one of those and we can see how that works. Okay, let's look again at our cards. Okay, this one says plant kindness, harvest love. This one just says thanks. Now, if you'll look at these, you can see that I took a piece of designer series paper and cut out the inside, and I used it for this card. That's the reason I'm calling it a two-fer. Okay, so let's talk about the projects, the supplies you're going to need. All of this will be put on my website, on my YouTube and channel, so that you can look at these again, and all the instructions will be there with the supplies. We're using today one of the new in colors called Cinnamon Cider. So that's going to be the base of the 2 cards. Here is our designer series paper, and I don't have it right here, so I can't remember the name of it, but I'll show you how we cut that out in a second. This is Cajun Craze, and then of course I have to have something a little sparkly, although you've got gold in the some of the paper in this designer series paper pack. So we're going to use some gold, and then for the flap on the envelope, I picked out a different little designer paper. Okay, now, and I think the people roofing are taking their lunch break. Praise the Lord, so we won't hopefully have that noise. These 2 pieces are cut at 4 by 5 1/4. They'll be the inside of your card. So the first thing I want to do is go ahead and do all the stamping. Okay, so let's look back at our two-fer cards. you have 2 of the harvest bundles with the cotton, the pumpkins, apples, and 1 of the corn stalks. I guess that's what that's called. So we need to stamp those things, and we're going to stamp them in our Memento ink. And I'm going to stamp this up real well. And go down and up. Perfect. And again, down and up. And we're through with that one. Oops. Now we need to do the corn. And I'm going to do it, let's go a little bit more. Right there. Okay. Now, I'm going to be using, and let's check and make sure, I have some Very Vanilla as the background, so that's the one we're going to be using here. And the next larger size is going to be for the DSP, right there. So I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp my cinnamon, and I'm stamping it in the cinnamon cider. Close that up. And remember, if it's not our patented design, turn it upside down so it stays juicy. And I'm going to do it right there. And that says plant kindness, harvest love, and that'll be perfect. I'm going to use this little notch to center it. Okay. Now, let me get out everything that we need to cut. And we're going to be using, as I mentioned, it's called Autumn Wheelbarrow. There are actually 2 wheelbarrows. The one that's just the shape goes with the one here. And it has the lines in the wood. But I wanted to have this one because it embosses the lines and makes it stand out a little bit more. So we're going to need this one for that. We'll need the die for the corn and the die for the pumpkin. And also the wheel. Okay, so we've got quite a bit to punch out. Let me put this all right here. And maybe we can get all the punching done at one time. Here's my September host code if you're interested in placing an order. And let's get my Stampin' Emboss machine here. And you can see all the little sticky things I have to hold everything. Now, I'm going to take this plate and put everything down. Okay, we know we're going to be doing this one. And I try to save as much paper as possible. We have, I'll cut out this one. Oops. Let's see, there we go. I'll put some sticky to hold that. Then we're going to use the corn. And all this just fits right where it should. Okay. There we go. All right. Now, we're going to cut this all at once. Putting my plate 3 on top. And roll that through. Now, let's see. Okay, we've got our corn. We've got one of our little pumpkins. And we have the background for the other card. So I'm going to put these up. We don't need those anymore. But we are going to need the pumpkin one more time. Okay. So let's get it centered on here. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and stick that little piece of gold. Here it is. And if I can find the wheel, where did I put the wheel? Got the wheelbarrow. Well, we'll find it in a minute. Let's cut out the wheelbarrow while I'm cutting this. All right. Now, there's the wheel. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but it is embossed and raised a little bit, so that'll be good to give a little texture. There's our other pumpkin. And put that there. Okay, I hope y'all have been doing all right this week. It's been kind of crazy on my end, but that seems to be the norm. So, okay, now I want to make sure that this is as centered as possible. And this is one of those designer series paper that really doesn't have an up and down. They kind of go, the pumpkins are kind of up and down, but the rest of it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna move that up just a tad so it looks like that's pretty centered. I'm gonna go ahead and tape it down. We'll put that through, and here's the wheel. So I've got a piece of our gold foil, and now I'm putting the plate on top, and let's, no sense wasting all of that. Okay. There we go. Okay. And here is our label from the collection dies. And now I'm going to put all of this out of the way. I think I've cut everything. We'll see in a minute. Okay. So this card, the first one that I'm doing, is going to be the outside, and it's going to be orientated this way. So I'm going to go ahead and fold that over. Use my bone folder, and I know that this is going to go with that. The wheel and the wheelbarrow are going to go there. And one of the pumpkin bunches, okay? Now the rest will go with the other one. And that's the one that has the inside of what we cut out. So we're doing the positive and the negative. And this one is going to be orientated sideways, like so. We're going to have this here, and then we'll have that, oops, and the corn. Okay, so why don't we do this one first? And I'm going to show you. I felt like if it was just like so, that it was too plain. It needed some sort of background. Well, I tried, this is cinnamon cider, and I tried the cinnamon cider, and it was way, way too dark. So I decided to use Versamark. Now this is a watermark stamp. If you've never used it, you need to get some because it is great with everything. Now I do need to clean my stamp, and because I stamped in black. And let's see if I can get, there we go, some stamping mist. I'm cleaning that up real good. Okay, now I am just going to stamp around, and it almost is like it darkens a little bit. Now, let's see. Yeah, I think that's enough. But you can see how it just adds a little interest to the back. Okay, again, I'm going to turn this upside down to store it. And that was our Versamark pad. Okay. Now, I popped up the corn and the pumpkin, so I'm not going to pop up the other. I'm just going to put it right down on it flat. Okay, oh, here's my, I'm looking everywhere, and here it is, my stamp and seal. Okay, I'm going to roll my finger a little bit, and it's sticky, so I'm going to go down, break it off, and you can actually go around in like a little circle if you want to do that. Okay, now, always make sure that you are not putting it upside down like I was just getting ready to do. So, here we go. I'm going to center this. And then I'm going to put the vanilla background. And I'm going to center it. They have little notches here and here, and also on each side, so that is a good reference for trying to get it even. Okay, now I'm going to set that aside until we go to color in everything. Now on this card, if you can tell, I popped it up and I used our strips that are called, let's see, foam adhesive strips. So you get two little things like so in there. And what I'm going to do is take out a piece, and I'm going to go ahead and do this the whole way. So I've got, stay still, there we go, and I'm going to clip that, and over there. Okay, it didn't quite go all the way, so I'll fix that. And here we've got another piece right there. And I'm just going to put a little piece that I just shot across the room. Hello, where are you? Well, oh, here it is. Okay. Put that down. Oops. Right there. And then I need this one last side. So these foam strips, if you're doing something where you've got a lot of edges, it works great. All right, just peel those off. And there you have that. Okay, now this one's going up and down, but it doesn't really matter because you just have to match it. Okay, so there you have that. Now I can go ahead and put my wheelbarrow in, and I'm going to use the Stampin' Seal for it. Because I wanted it to be flat since the frame is popped up. Look more like a picture. Okay, and I'm going to do it about there. Then we have our little, look, this could be a pizza. The little wheels, once you cut it out, those little pizza slices just fall right out. And I'm going to use my glue dot for that, doing it right in the middle and right on the center of that. Okay, so that's done. Now, let's put that aside a second. And what I want to do now is to go ahead and color my pieces that need to be colored. And let's see. Let me pick up some of this. Okay, there we go. There's all three of them. Okay, I used a number of our blends, Stampin' Blends, and I used Old Olive Dark for the stem on the, let me use the little end, on the pumpkin and on the leaves. Now, I like to work in assembly style, so I'm going to use everything that needs to be green. I'm going to use there. Now, I'm going to use, I think this is a pear. We're going to say it is. So I'm going to color that one in. Next, I'm going to do my leaves, and I'm using Old Olive Light for them. And we've got a couple little leaves here. We've got leaves here. We have a leaf here. And some leaves there. I think that's, oops, there's one little one on that apple. All right, same thing over here. And these can be done fairly quickly. You know, I told you last week that I've really started using my blends, and I am loving them. They come in light and dark, and they can be found on the page that has all of our Stampin' Up! Colors, the cardstock, ink pads. Okay, I'm going to color in the corn next. Anyway, it is on that same page right below at the bottom of each collection. Okay, so there's our corn. Corn over here. Next, I'm going to do the brown, and I'm using, dark crumb cake. And I'm using the ends on all the small end because it helps, you can control it a little bit better than the fat end. When I'm in big spaces, I'll use the other end. Okay, the basket is also brown, or this basket is. So you can color that. And wow, I'm not hearing anything. This is awesome. So maybe we'll be finished before they start the banging again, or close to it. Oops. Now, it's looking good. All right, then I use the light real red for the apples. And I'm gonna go ahead and use the fat end. Go a little faster. There's one here, one here. These may be pumpkins. They've got little lines in them, but I'm making them apples, so this is my card. I can do anything I want to it. All right, I think that's got it. And then the next is the orange. Now for the pumpkin pie is the color I'm going to be using here. And I'm going to use the large end to color in the pumpkin. Now, I forgot what I was going to say. When you go around, okay, that has that. Like I said, in the larger places, I use the fat end, and in the smaller places, I'm going to use the small end. Okay. All right. Now, those are finished. I don't see anything. They look the same. Oh, I know what I need to do. I'm taking the dark pumpkin pie, and I'm just going to go over those little lines. I'm not getting every single one of them, but it'll give it a little bit of depth there. And even on this one down here. Okay. And my timekeeper just told me we got 3 minutes before the banging starts, so I'll try to get through here quickly. Okay. Now, for the corn, I didn't worry about putting any brown in just because there's a lot of black in this. So I just tried to really get the edges and the bottoms. And this is going to be, I send cards, I sent a ton of cards at Christmas, like 200 or more. But at other holidays, I send to close friends and family. I usually send about 15 or so. And these are going to be my Thanksgiving cards. And so some will get this one. The others will get this one. Now, we're going to put dimensionals on the back of the corn and the pumpkin. And you see this little cotton thing? I'm going to use a little tiny, one of our mini dimensionals for that, just so it's not flopping around. Oop. Okay, get that off. Okay, now we're going to take this one. So the corn's going to go here, and I think I'll do it first. And I put it outside the little area. And now all of that, and I overlapped and dropped that down just a bit so you could see the sentiment there. Okay, so that one is finished. All I need to do is put the inside in that one. And, okay. Now, this one I said I was going to do flat. So, I'm going to go ahead and glue it down. And where is my silicone pad so I don't get it on my paper? I'm going to put some there. Okay, so that's there. And the only thing that's missing is our sentiment, our thankful, right there. So let me get a piece of our vanilla there. Oh.
They're not here.
Oh, good. They took a longer lunch break. Yay. Okay. I'm going to put thankful there. And it's not quite straight, but we're going to fussy cut that, so I'll fix it. So all I'm going to do is just do that. Just cut a little bit off here. And I think I'll use the little mini dots for this. Oops. You don't want them to show, so stuck to my fingernail. Now, get that off. Get that one off. Okay. And there you have the two cards. Now, let me get all this cleaned up and out of the way. It's important to keep your surface clean so that you can keep your wits about you, but that doesn't always happen in my world. So do as I say, not as I do. Okay, clean that off. We've got our, I'm gonna put all my sticky stuff away. We can do, okay, I showed you this once before, how you're gonna take and decorate the flap of the card. I'm sorry, the envelope. So I'm just gonna use my multi-purpose glue, go around. And I cut this at 2.5. And I just want it, I mean a hair from that. All right, let's do this one. I first saw another demonstrator do this, and I mean, this is just the easiest way to decorate your, and give a little something extra to your envelopes. Again, all we're going to do is trim off the excess. And little bite, little bite, little bite around the corner. And you can take bigger bites. Remember, I was a kindergarten teacher, so sometimes I do kindergarten speak. So little bites, little bites, little bites. And there you have it. Okay, I'm not going to do the other one just for time, but I'll come back and trim that. And here are the two insides that are going to go there. So let's get them down. Remember, you're making like a little check mark, or you can, some go up. I don't have much luck with that, but anyway, just to break it so that it doesn't give you a long string of sticky. Okay, oops. That one is a little bit crooked, and I'm not going to worry about that. It's already stuck down. So let's see if I can do better on this one. I'll send that one to my sister or somebody that'll notice but won't care. Do you know my sister, and I've had a couple of friends and cousins say that they save my cards. Now, if that doesn't make you feel good, because special people get my cards, and it makes me happy to know that they like them enough to save them and show them off. Okay. Here is our Thanksgiving cards. As I said, the stamp set, Autumn Goodness, and the Autumn Wheelbarrow dies come in a bundle. You can find all this at my website, stampingatthebirdnest.com. And when you go to place your order, I would appreciate it if you would put in the hostess code. This will be changing next time when we are in October. But here is the code. You hover over, when you go to checkout, hover over the word host code, and the box will pop up, and you can put that in. Okay, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a calm day after all, and I'm so glad for that. Here you have your, isn't that paper gorgeous? So you've got that for your envelope, and the other one that'll get trimmed up will have one too. So, thankful and plant kindness, harvest love. And I am thankful for all of you. I hope you will spread the word. Every Thursday, 12 noon, Lunch with Laura. After this, I will be posting the live video to YouTube, and you can look at my YouTube channel there. You can put in Laura Lee, L-E-A, Collet, C-O-L-L-E-T, or just go to my website. So thank you very much for looking and being with me today. And I'll be back next Thursday to share lunch with you while you have lunch with Laura. Bye.